To my fellow faculty members, to our guests, and most importantly, to our graduates, I thank you for giving me the opportunity. Shaking each of your hands on this stage is the single very best part of my job. And it is because of your collective accomplishments that it is a true honor and privilege to stand before you. I sincerely thank the class for making my job, and indeed all of our jobs, as rewarding as they really are. So from what I saw on YouTube, I think what's expected of a commencement speaker is that I quote some sort of obscure Latin phrase. So here goes. According to Wikipedia, ex nihilo nihil fit translates to nothing comes from nothing. And indeed, none of us have come from nothing. Sure, you had to work hard to earn this degree, but the monuments to your success were built on the foundation placed by those that loved you, by those that believed in you, by those of this generation and the many generations before it that made sacrifices to give you the opportunity to be here today. In fact, as the father of a toddler, I now have a whole new appreciation for what that really means. You may not remember it, but your parents did a lot of messy cleaning for you. Right, parents? So on this day, and on every day that you're lucky enough to be alive and to celebrate your success, never forget that none of what you have came from nothing. Always take that moment to pay tribute to the somethings from which you would not be. Many of those somethings are sitting beside you. They're sitting around you. They're on this stage, and many more of those somethings couldn't be here today with you no matter how much they would have wanted to be. So I ask you, graduates, to take this very moment together as a class to cheer for those who were the somethings from which you came, and to do it loud enough that those far to your sides and up above in your hearts can hear you. So as I reflect on the significance of this day, knowing that it is and very well should be one of the best days in your lives, I thought about another one of the best days in mine. My younger brother and best man, Andrew, on my wedding day, found himself quarterbacking some last-minute preparations, setting up tables and chairs in the field, lugging ice to coolers, the things that you never really thought much about but end up being a whole lot of work. You guys know what I'm talking about, like that paper you thought you'd have done in time for the Colbert Report and you were still writing at 5 a.m. I know, because when you email it me, it comes with a timestamp. Anyway, Andrew's standing order to the other groomsmen who were also sucked into all of this manual labor was, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. That really stuck with me. Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. Nearly 6 years later, 6, right? We're going on 6? Okay. It's not the time to get it wrong. She's right there. Anyway, nearly 6 truly wonderful years later, I still cannot describe better what every boss, what every manager, advisor, supervisor, and admissions officer is looking for: solutions. And that was in 2007. So imagine the coincidence that in 2013, Andrew and I, who grew up in Connecticut 8 years apart, and between us would live in Ohio, New York, Hawaii, Mexico, Brazil, and Spain, would both come to live in all places, the state of Maryland, to work for the same college, the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences, a college whose slogan, of all things, is "Be the Solution." But Be the Solution is more than a slogan. It's a call to make ourselves worth something. So my graduates, I ask you, what are you the solution to? I know many of you well enough to know that most of you chose this field of all the other things you could have majored in because you knew that there were problems more important than ourselves to solve. Sadly, today those problems persist. There are still people struggling with the agony of mental illness and inner demons. There are still people in troubled relationships, young soldiers returning traumatized and suicidal, and children at the hands of abusers and murderers. Senselessness. So which of those, or the many other problems, were you driven to solve? What drew you to our science? Why psychology? Why did you choose this? But alas, you didn't just choose it. You're here today because you succeeded. You are among your peers because you have each developed a fundamental understanding of thought and behavior, and even more importantly, you have demonstrated that you have the skills to apply it. Your degree, the abbreviation UMD, is your stock symbol on the employee trading floor, and the value of your stock depends on the strength of this program and the accomplishments of us all. I promise as its director that I will work continuously and tirelessly to protect and advance the value of your degree, but I need your help as alumni. As you gain, reinvest. And I'm not talking about your money. I'm talking about staying involved with this department. I'm talking about finding the opportunities to support your fellow Terps and all the future Psych Terps to come. Share your successes with us so that they may inspire others to achieve. Share your opportunities with us so that they may be your interns, your employees, and your peers. Remember that the value of your degree depends not just on what you do with it, but also what you help others achieve with it. Be the bond that brings all Psych Terps together, and we will all be stronger for it. Now, there will most certainly be setbacks, just as there have been up to this point. But focusing on the pain is focusing on the problem, and we need you to advance yourself, advance the thinking, and advance the cause. So whether you are the solution with a career dedicated to serving others, or it's something that you volunteer out on the weekends, if it's a commitment to nurture a child's well-being and growth, or even a single, simple act of random kindness that you do on your way home today, whatever it is, be a solution. I'm sorry to say that we are not alone. There are some like wolves in the woods who will choose to be the problem. They will prey on our weak, they will profit from our losses, they will exploit our deepest fears. The events of just this year remind us that the wolves, in many forms, will come once again in our days. But we don't need you to tell us that there are going to be problems. We need you to show us that you're the solutions. So go forward as graduates of this fine university, of this distinguished college, and of this award-winning department. Go forward and remind the wolves why they damn well better fear the turtle. Congratulations. So, graduates, I ask you to turn your tassels from right to left, and Dr. Blanchard, I present you the graduated class of 2013.